Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that I think is incredibly important but often overlooked: failure. We're all so scared of it, right? But what if I told you that some of the greatest successes in history were born from what was initially considered a complete and utter disaster? Let us explore some incredible stories where failure wasn't just a stepping stone, it was the entire foundation for changing the world. Let's start with something you probably have in your kitchen right now: the microwave oven. In 1945, a self-taught engineer named Percy Spencer was working on radar technology for the company Raytheon. One day, while standing in front of an active radar set, he noticed something strange. The chocolate bar in his pocket had completely melted. Now, most people might just be annoyed about the mess, but Spencer was curious. He tried another experiment with popcorn kernels, and sure enough, they started popping all over the lab. Next, he tried an egg, which famously exploded in a colleague's face. His bosses at Raytheon weren't immediately sold on the idea of a food cooking box. The first commercial microwave, the Rataranj, was a colossal failure. It was almost 6 feet tall, weighed over 750 pounds, and cost about $50,000 in today's money. It was also water-cooled, requiring complicated plumbing. Can you imagine that in your kitchen? Nobody bought it. For years, the project was seen as a commercial flop, a novelty with no real-world application. It took nearly 2 decades of refinement, size reduction, and cost-cutting before the microwave oven became the household staple we know today. Spencer's accidental discovery, initially a commercial disaster, eventually revolutionized how we eat. Next up, let's talk about a drug that has saved countless lives: penicillin. Before its discovery, a simple scratch could lead to a fatal infection. In 1928, Scottish scientist Alexander Fleming returned to his lab after a vacation and found a mess. He was known for being a bit untidy, and on one of his petri dishes growing Staphylococcus bacteria, a mold had started to grow. Instead of just throwing it out, he noticed something fascinating. Around the mold, the bacteria had been completely destroyed. He identified the mold as Penicillium notidum. But here lies the part of the story we often forget. Fleming's initial discovery was largely ignored. He published his findings, but the scientific community was unimpressed. Fleming wasn't a chemist, and he struggled to isolate and purify the active ingredient. For over a decade, his groundbreaking discovery collected dust. It was considered an interesting lab curiosity, but nothing more. It was a failure in terms of practical application. It wasn't until World War II, when the need for new antibacterial agents was desperate, that 2 other scientists, Howard Florey and Ernst Chain, picked up Fleming's research. They successfully developed a method to mass-produce penicillin, and it became a miracle drug, saving millions of soldiers and civilians. Fleming's failed experiment became one of the most significant medical breakthroughs of all time. How about something you might be sitting on? Or at least something you see every day. I'm talking about vulcanized rubber. In the 1830s, natural rubber was a frustrating material. In a moment of excitement, he accidentally flung the mixture, and it landed on a hot stove. Instead of melting into goo, it charred like leather, creating a tough, flexible, and waterproof material. He had accidentally discovered vulcanization. But even then, success wasn't immediate. Goodyear's life was a series of failures, but his one accidental success created an entire industry. Dyson, the brand that's now synonymous with innovation and quality, was built on a mountain of 5,127 failures and endless rejections. He and his brother Roy started the Disney Brothers studio. They created a character called Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, which was a huge hit. But in a devastating blow, Disney lost the rights to Oswald in a contract dispute with his distributor. He lost his character, his staff, and his business all at once. On the train ride home from that disastrous meeting, feeling like a complete failure, he started doodling. He sketched a mouse. That mouse, of course, was Mickey. But even Mickey Mouse wasn't an instant success. The first two Mickey cartoons failed to find a distributor. It was only the third one, Steamboat Willie, one of the first cartoons with synchronized sound, that became a sensation. From the ashes of bankruptcy and betrayal, Disney built an empire that would redefine entertainment for generations. His journey proves that catastrophic failure can be the very thing that pushes you toward your most iconic creation. So, what can we learn from all this? These stories show us that the path to success is rarely a straight line. It's messy. It's filled with accidents, rejections, and moments where it feels like everything is falling apart. And Disney's bankruptcy, they weren't just bumps in the road, they were the road. So the next time you fail at something, remember these stories. Thanks so much for watching. If you found these stories as inspiring as I do, hit that like button.